I think we can all agree that vertical content has never been more important than it is right now, whether we like it or not. As a matter of fact, one of our biggest ad campaigns with the highest budget that we have ever shot was about 70% vertical content. So I think that fact alone justifies spending a bit more time on vertical content, and the Canon C70 is actually a pretty great camera to shoot vertical content with. So in this video we will rig out the Canon C70 for handheld vertical shooting. My name is Damon Cooper and welcome to another video about my big rig. The first thing we need to do is we need to strip down our Canon C70 and get rid of the side grip attachment. And I will put links to all the equipment that I use for this build down in the description below. The first accessory that we need is a cage, and I chose one from Tilta because this is actually made for horizontal as well as vertical shooting. This cage is actually specifically made for the Canon C70 and we will attach it via 2 screws on the bottom of the cage. After doing this, I still found it a bit wobbly, so what I did is I took this little screw without a screw head and I screwed it onto the side all the way through where there is the 1/4 inch attachment on the Canon C70 itself, and now it's absolutely tight. Small disclaimer, this screw doesn't come with the cage though. The next thing we need to add to our cage is a top handle, and there's one also by Tilta that is actually made for vertical as well as horizontal shooting. With the press of a button we can switch the angles around and therefore mount it either horizontally or vertically. You can also slightly change the positioning of the top handle by sliding it either to the front or the back just by loosening 2 screws. And this is great for making your entire rig a little bit more balanced. This top handle also has 2 cold shoes which we can use to attach a monitor or other accessories. But before we attach the monitor, let's attach a tripod plate. And here it gets a bit tricky because if we just use a regular Manfrotto 501 plate, we will block the access to our SD card slot. It's also kind of finicky to get 2 screws in there because there's not a lot of space, so this is not the best solution in my opinion. So here I came up with a unique solution. The first thing we need for this is this little Arca Swiss plate that also comes from Tilta. When it comes to attaching this Arca Swiss plate, you have different options. If you want to use this camera on a gimbal, I would highly suggest putting it all the way to the bottom so that we still have access to our card slots. If you don't want to use it with a gimbal, just turn it around and now you have all the clearance to access your SD card slot. Then I just took a regular 501 Manfrotto plate and I added a quick release revolver plate from Zipon to it, and this is definitely optional, but for me this is great because I can quickly go from tripod to handheld to slider to gimbal with it. On top of the revolver quick release plate, we added an Arca Swiss quick release plate. The one that I'm using is from Siri, but you can basically use any. Now we can use our camera and just slide it onto the quick release plate, tighten it, and now we have a Manfrotto 501 plate. Now we can put the entire rig on a tripod, or we can use a revolver quick release plate to put it on a slider for example, or we can detach the entire camera and put it via the Arca Swiss plate onto a DJI RS2 or RS3 directly. But now let's attach a monitor, and here we need a monitor mount, and the one that I'm using for all of my camera rigs as well as gimbal work is one from SmallRig, and this is the one that I found the most enjoyable to use. It's not perfect, but it's the best that I have used so far. As for my monitor of choice, I'm currently reviewing the Godox GMS6, and this actually works pretty well and I like it so far, but there's a full review on it coming soon. The one thing that you need is a 1/4 inch thread on the side of your monitor, and you also need to take care that there's no ports being blocked when mounting it vertically. There we go, now we have a base plate, a top handle and a monitor. What we need now is audio. My microphone of choice for this is the Dadey S-Mic2S, and I use this for all of my rigs because it's small and it's XLR with great audio quality. In order to attach our microphone, we use the original mic holder, and with this little pin that comes with the camera, we can attach it to the cold shoe of our camera cage. And since the Dadey S-Mic2S is such a short microphone, it doesn't get in the way of anything, and even when shooting wide angle, you won't see it appear in the shot. In order to attach it to our camera, we need a regular XLR to mini XLR cable. Another thing I highly recommend getting is a proper windshield, and I use one from Movo that I found on Amazon, and those have been working great for me. And there you have it, now we have a fully versatile handheld rig for our Canon C70 with an external monitor, a tripod plate that also doubles as a quick release plate for going onto a slider or a gimbal, and we also have an audio option. I hope you liked this rig build video, and if you did, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and check out all the links down in the description below to all the equipment that we used for this rig build. And while you're already here, maybe check out 6 tips on how to improve your vertical production or how to color grade Canon C70 footage. And I hope to see you on the next one.